install the timing chain guide, and the two bolts are 89 pounds. And the small bolt is the one that goes on top, and the big one goes on the bottom. This is the big one here. Let's install the timing chain. Insert the timing chain between both cam facers. The other timing chain guide here and the two bolts also are tied to 89 pounds. And this is the timing chain kit that the owner of the vehicle bought. He has all the timing chains, all the tensioners, and the timing chain guides. Alright, see the bolts right here and the timing chain sprockets. They are brand new because you cannot reuse the old ones since they are torque to yield. According to the manufacturer, you cannot reuse them. The two timing chain sprockets, brand new. From these ones are from the dealer, by the way. Install the primary timing chain tensioner, and the two bolts are 89 pounds. Alright, before going any further, I'm going to take a quick look at the timing marks right there to see if everything is lining up. See the dot right there and the cam facer lining up with the highlighted link and the timing chain. And if we come here on this side, it's exactly the same. The timing mark, the dot, and the cam facer lining up with the highlighted link and the timing chain, as you can see right there. And if I come down here to the crankshaft to see the timing marks, I can see that dot lining up with the two highlighted links and the timing chain, and the dowel pin and the crankshaft is exactly at 9 o'clock. That's the position that it's supposed to be. Pull out the locking pin from the tensioner. And before rotating the engine, ensure to lubricate both cylinder heads with new engine oil, the timing chains, the timing chain sprockets or cam facers, the camshaft, both cylinder heads very well before rotating the engine. I'm going to turn over the engine right now after lubricating it. So we're going to make sure that it turns smoothly. If it gets stuck, then there is a problem. And the engine is rotating very smoothly, so everything is good. The oil seals and the timing chain cover. The new oil seal here, make sure it's sitting even all around at the same level of the cover here. Alright, cleaning the area right there in the engine block before installing the timing cover. Alright, let's apply sealing to the cover here, and I have to ensure I don't leave any cuts in between, because otherwise it's gonna leak oil and that's going to be a big problem once I'm done with the job. And for this purpose I like to use gray sealing because it has always worked very good for me, and because it's also a high resistant temperature, so that's why I like this kind of sealing. Now here are the instructions from Ford on how to apply the sealing and the time frame that Ford used to apply sealing to the cover and also to the engine block and the cut, because there are some cuts in the engine block. You have to apply some sealing in order for the two maiden surfaces to seal perfectly. So I have to get this done within 20 and 35 minutes. Those are the instructions from Ford. Now applying sealing to the cuts here in the engine block. Alright, let's install the timing chain cover here. Just gotta do it carefully because I don't want to wipe off any sealing from the timing chain cover. Otherwise, that's going to be a problem. Alright, I already installed all of the bolts here on the timing chain cover, and these are the instructions from Ford on how to install all of the bolts here, the sequence and the bolts that you gotta install first. AC compressor right there, 10mm ratchet and wrench, and for the one on the bottom you can use a ratchet or anything. In my case, I use my cordless ratchet for the one on the bottom right there. Before installing the valve cover, gasket maker here a little bit, and here too. Install the lower intake manifold with a new gasket and all of the 8mm bolts here, and this is the torque specification for this lower intake manifold here. And that is the lower intake manifold already installed, all the 8mm bolts, and remember it has two in the rear there, one here in this direction and another one here, right there. Install the upper intake manifold, and this is the sequence here according to Ford, and also the torque specification for all of the bolts. Alright, the crankshaft pulley here, I'm gonna try to install it right now. And this is the original bolt. We're not gonna use this one, we gotta use this is a new one, but it's like kind of like too small to install it right there with this one because I don't have the tool. So I bought this bolt here. This is from American Hardware. I'm gonna use this nut like this, and then the washer that belongs to the crankshaft pulley, and I'm gonna go just like this, and I'm gonna see if I'm able to install it with this. Just make sure the tip of the bolt cannot hit inside there, inside the engine block. Remember, you cannot reuse the old bolt and the crankshaft pulley because the bolt is torqued to yield, so it cannot be reused. And the torque specification according to Ford for this crankshaft pulley is in 4 stages. The first one is 89 inch-pound, then loosen a full turn, then 37 foot-pounds, and an additional 90 degrees. That's the torque specification for this crankshaft pulley. It's going inside very smoothly. It closed already, as you can see. Now we're gonna pull out the bolt, and then I'm gonna be installing the original bolt right there so the pulley can stay inside, and then torque it to torque specifications. Alright, let's install the water pump and the new 2 gaskets and the water pump here. And this one is exactly the same that it was on the engine before because the owner of the vehicle did not want to replace it, since he says this water pump is new. It has been here in the engine for about 1 year. So let's install the same one then. And this is the torque specification here for this water pump. Installing the thermostat water housing. This is the torque specification for this thermostat housing, and ensure you replace the O-ring here, the gasket. That's how we are up to this point here. The water assembly here with the thermostat housing. Alright, I'm done with everything here. It's time to fire this engine. Let's see what happens. Turn it on for me, please. Alright, that's the engine up and running right there with no problem. It's running very smoothly. The only thing is that it's so noisy because the exhaust manifolds on both sides are still disconnected, so it's very noisy, but the engine is running very smoothly. I have to be honest, I have previously turned it on already and it's running very smoothly, so no problem. We're just missing some antifreeze here.
No tiene más antifreeze, ese no. Hay más antifreeze, no. Este va a ser suficiente para correrlo, no es problema, pero va a tener que echarle. Ahorita está bien, no. Pero él tiene que...
Thanks for watching and stay blessed.